And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Quibs here. Quibs does stuff. I've made a few more adjustments to the graphics equalizer settings and also realized that somehow Audacity had permanently reduced the gain on my microphone. No, there was gain, the volume of my microphone. So I've adjusted that and we'll see how this recording goes. Might be a bit better than the last one. The last one wasn't too bad. I had cut out some of the background noise. However, it's kind of warm today, so I've actually got an overhead fan on, so that might affect things slightly. I sort of need a pop filter over the microphone so it doesn't pick that up. And I haven't got any sort of feedback going, so I can't hear what the actual output is. But oh well, if it's messed up, it's messed up. But we'll see how we go. So in continuation of what we had last stream yesterday, we're going to move on to intermediate. And we're going to do, again, mostly the small maps to begin with. But we'll move on up to medium maps as well. So we'll do a bit of high school and maybe some prison and so on and so forth too. So we're going to start in Tanglewood. Now, intermediate, average setup time. So when they say average, they mean 1 minute. Pretty sure. I don't think it's 3 minutes. Pretty sure it's 1 minute. So you get a little bit of time to maybe find the ghost room before it's possible for the ghost to hunt. The hunt grace period, I think, is down to like 3 or 4 seconds or something. But, you know, you get a hunt grace period. The ghost starts making noise, the lights start flashing, time to run away before the ghost actually starts hunting. The hunt duration is increased, it's like 40, 50 seconds. Again, I don't actually know these actual numbers, I just know they're shorter than if you were on Professional or Nightmare. Sanity pills restore a bit less, so I think they were 40 on Amateur, and now they're like 35 or something, or 30. The fuse box starts off, so that's a big change. You have to go in and actually find the fuse box to turn lights on. There's fewer places to hide, so they start actually taking some of the hiding places away from you by blocking them with, you know, boxes and whatnot. And if you die, you get back, I believe it's 25% of the money, whereas on Amateur it was 50%. So there are some changes. So I'd like to discuss somewhat about when you should really advance from amateur to intermediate. And I think the game does it too fast. It gives it to you very, very quickly. Like, you don't have to play a lot of games before it levels you up and goes, right, here's intermediate. Let's go finish talking.
For help.
That's super loud.
I've got nothing else to report, unfortunately.
I think basically, if you're given the intermediate difficulty, there's sort of an expectation that, oh, I should be playing at that level now. Isn't that why they gave me the intermediate difficulty? And I don't think that you really should. Up until this point, you don't know what the fuse box really is for, unless you've had a ghost that turns it off all the time and you're like, oh, that's what that does. Because I don't think it's explained anywhere. I don't think it's explained on the TV in the tutorial or anything. So the fuse box is quite an important mechanic, and you don't know what it does yet. So again, playing more games, having a bit of multiplayer, having someone with more experience go, oh hey, if the fuse box is off, the whole house gets colder and it becomes harder to find the ghost room unless it's a freezing ghost. And other things like, if the fuse box is off, you can't turn lights on. So one of the big ways you're going to learn about the fuse box in Amateur is turning too many lights on in the house and having the fuse box blow. Again, I don't think the game tells you any of that. So you're going to turn a light on, the fuse box is going to blow, and you're going to be like, what happened? Why did everything just break? Again, you probably need someone to explain that to you. So either they have to improve the tutorials, or if I'm wrong and they're actually already in the tutorials, well then, I'm just wrong. But yeah, there are a lot of things that you need to learn. If you've only been playing in Amateur, if you've been playing in Amateur and you've already unlocked Intermediate, you haven't seen all the ghost types yet. You certainly haven't seen them do the things that they can do. You haven't seen all the ghost abilities. There's a lot of ghosts that you would have come up against, found all the evidence and left before they did anything that is specific to their ghost type. So I really do think that when they do the progress update, they should expand. How do they turn on and off? Wow, that really is loud. Is that super loud for you guys or what? It doesn't look like it is. The output looks normal. No, that does look pretty loud. What happens if I just turn my headphones down? Apparently it won't let me. There we go. Does it affect the output capture? That looks like it does. Up a bit more than that. Anyway, Yeah, so the step up to intermediate is greater than you think, and unless you're sort of ready for it, you shouldn't be doing it. And I don't think the amount of time you spend in amateur on average is enough. Elizabeth Jackson, where are you? Give us a sign. Hey, Lizzie. Okay, got that one. You can hide there. Elizabeth, can't hide there. Elizabeth, where are you? Give us a sign. Turn that one and that one on. And I'm going to go straight to the garage now, because I want that breaker. That door's open. Now, I'm pretty sure that the doors still start closed. Maybe? Okay, that's blocked as well. Not sure. They might start closed. Elizabeth, are you here? All the other doors started closed, so it might be a garage ghost since that was open. Someone in circle? No. A mirror. There's the bone. Ah, Ouija board, right. Okay, we might come back for that later. Things like the Ouija board, like you're not going to understand everything that there is to understand. I've got to take a photo of that. You're not going to understand everything that there is to understand about the Ouija board. You're just going to know one or two things. You're going to be like, okay, the Ouija board, if I ask it certain questions, it answers. You're not going to know about how much sanity that's going to cost. Let's risk it. So, the sanity drain mechanic is especially important for things like the Ouija board. You need to know what it does, how it does it, why it does it. Okay, the sound effects are super loud. Yeah, so I've changed everything and now it seems to be really loud. So let's turn that down a little bit. Try that adjustment and see what happens. It's still very loud in my ears, but that should be better in yours. Now, what have I got in there? Nothing. We've still got 10 seconds left on the timer, which is pretty good. 93% sanity. We haven't got anything yet. Oh, I didn't check if there was fingerprints or not. No fingerprints, and I didn't get a scoring photo either, which is annoying. Right, so we'll get our cameras in. So I think it's the garage so far, but I'm not 100%. I just think so, because the garage door was open. So again, on intermediate, apparently all the doors start closed, which gives you a pretty good indication if the ghost is hiding in a particular room. It will, that room will be, have an open door or not. Try that there, turn that off, go back out to the van and check. Right, I'm also not watching Twitch here. I've actually got OBS up, which is not going to work. There we go, that's better. Right. So the step up to intermediate, it really is a good idea that you know how to use all the tools correctly. So things like the paramic, very confusing, they don't make a lot of sense. Things like the crucifix, like there's no explanation on how the crucifix works. We know how it works because we've had it explained to us by streamers, or maybe you've read the wiki. The wiki isn't always right. It especially lags very far behind what the game actually has in store at the moment, like what's actually happening in the game. They try, but again, it is fan-built, and they don't always have it right. A lot of people have some idea of what they think is going on, and they don't really watch the other people who know what's going on, so they make mistakes. I didn't bother to look at the camera then, which was kind of dumb, but oh well. Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? Are you here? Are you friendly? Are you French? Alright, nothing there. I touched the door, but that didn't give EMF. That's really strange. Touch this door. Okay, still haven't got an EMF 5, and I haven't seen one on the activity board. The activity board is an incredibly complex to understand piece of equipment. Well, not complex, but it's not easy. You can get EMF 5 by using the activity board, but if you don't know the tricks to it, you're not going to be able to do so. Let's have a look at our cameras and see. I don't see any orbs immediately in that. Might be behind the door or around the corner, so maybe we'll give it a minute and see if we get any dots as well. I might still have the wrong room. But the breaker's been on a while now, so now I can use the thermometer. So there's something that on amateur you might not have noticed. If the breaker is off for a long time, the thermometer is virtually useless unless you've actually got a freezing ghost. But if the breaker's been on for a while, the thermometer actually becomes a really good tool, especially in small maps where there's not that many rooms to check. Alright, so let's grab a thermometer and the UV flashlight, which I don't think it's going to be fingerprints, unless we had an Obake and that first one was a failed fingerprint, like it didn't leave one. See, it's just touched this door, and there's no fingerprints on that door now. So I'm thinking it's not going to be fingerprints. Let's check if we've got the right room. We don't. This room. Yeah. So it's actually this room. So let's turn everything around. Put them in here instead. Once again, touching lots of doors. Where is my... Still on the EMF 2. So let's get outside and check again. So you see how useful the thermometer was, but you have to know how it works. So for example, not knowing the refresh rate of the thermometer will refresh several times. Like it will give you a temperature and then give you another temperature and give you another temperature before it's actually checking the room you're now currently pointing at. So if you're waving it around going like 22.1, 22.1, 22.4, 22.7, okay, you didn't see that, I'm just, yeah, well, no, you did actually see my head turn around. You get the idea. That's not how that works. You're not going to get good readings off the thermometer because you're not using it correctly. Let's put in a second ghost book just in case, and then we can start doing things like salt and candle. Why can't I do salt? Oh, I've still got my UV light. So other things like getting a ghost to step in salt. Best combined with things like the motion sensor, because that should have turned the light off. No, it didn't. Best combined with things like the motion sensor because it lets you know where the ghost is before you waste your... I would turn this light off. That's weird. Touch the door again, touched another door. Very active ghost, I will say. Talking about... Oh yes, it's good to know where the ghost is before you use things. I don't remember what item I was talking about, something. Same thing with the spirit box. Nice to know the ghost is in the room before you use the spirit box, because otherwise you're just talking to yourself. So I've already done that once. I've walked around in a room that I thought the ghost was in. The ghost wasn't in that room. So I got absolutely nothing. Now I don't have orbs by the looks of things, and I still haven't seen any dots. But because this is such a small room, the chance of the ghost wandering backwards and forwards between the rooms either side of it, very high. I'm going to grab 2 motion sensors so I can sort of try and find out where it is. So again, things like learning to use motion sensors. Where are the good spots to put them? Well, on doorways, on bottlenecks where the ghost has to pass through. Nope, EMF 2 still. Still no fingerprints. I'm going to say there aren't any fingerprints, so we can give up on that one. Oh, let's do the spirit box again. Now he's either just gone in or out. Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? Are you friendly? I'm going to say that's a no still. It doesn't appear to be freezing in there, so it's not a freezing ghost. We don't... that almost sounded like writing, but it might have just been my heavy breath from running out of sprint. It doesn't appear to be spirit box, it doesn't appear to be orbs, and that's about all I can say. Oh, and freezing. So let's go evidence. Let's say it's not freezing and it's not orbs. Could be a myling, Goryo. Yeah, it could be any of those things. Yep, so it's either gone into or out of the room. We don't know. Because it's passing through the same door twice. So what we really want then is more motion sensors. So we can pick that up and try and establish where it's going. Is it walking into the room? Is it walking out of the room? Is it where is it actually going to? So let's do this and that. Just blew the breaker, so there goes all my temperature effects as well as the lights are now gone. But that's okay, we're still reasonably high sanity, and I don't think we've got any early hunted ghosts. I think a myling, if you're... No, it's not a myling, it's a yokai that hates loud noises. So yeah, none of these are early hunting ghosts, if I'm right and there's no ghost orbs and it's not freezing. Right, so where is it now? It's got to be either in the garage or in the room, I can't tell until it moves. Very quiet at the moment, nothing happening. Activity chart still moving. Now that, still not EMF level 5. Alright, now it's either in the room or in the garage. Again, we don't know. Okay, now it's out of the room. So it was in the room briefly. Now it's gone into the kitchen. Now it's gone back into the garage. There's an orb. So we didn't see that. So it's a good thing we waited, because now we know that orbs are actually a thing. So now we've got a Banshee that can't hunt early, a Mare that can, a Yokai that can, a Raiju that can, and an Obake. So things like the Raiju, I mean, understanding the Raiju and how its special ability works is very important to survival. And if you've reached intermediate and you don't understand a Raiju yet, Raijus are going to get you a lot. Still don't see any dots. But again, I don't know where it currently is. The motion sensors are not being as helpful as one would like. For all I know, with the spirit box, I just missed them again. The ghost might have been in another room at the time. Sometimes the orb is just somewhere out of actual visual range of the camera. It's like the camera's not pointing in the right direction, or the camera's too far in the room and the orb is behind it. But the orbs now move around. So in the old game, the orbs actually used to be stationary. Wherever they started, that's where they'd stay. And every now and again, one of them could spawn like inside a bookshelf, so you wouldn't see it until it sort of floated out of the bookshelf, which it'd only do momentarily, like it'd have to clip out of the bookshelf. Now they have the orbs move around periodically, so if you don't see it at first, just keep watching your camera and it might appear later. Now, we don't have freezing. I'm pretty sure we don't have freezing. And freezing is mimics. We also don't have fingerprints. I'm pretty sure we don't have fingerprints. So we're looking at these three ghosts, all of whom can hunt early, I will point out. I just don't want to see those dots, because that's probably going to be a Raiju then. Alright, I think there's books in there as well, so we can go and check that stuff out. Right, now I've been outside for a while, and the big problem with that is that the breaker has been off for ages. What is my sanity? I don't want to be in hunting range of one of these early hunters. No, we should be fine. I don't think a Raiju can hunt at 85. I think it's 80. Also, so the mechanic of the candle will preserve your sanity. You won't lose sanity while holding a candle. There's nothing that says that anywhere. You're not going to know that. Let's leave that there. There's nothing that explicitly states that. I just know that because I know that. It's been tested by, again, some of the major streamers. Again, I don't know whether it's moved in or out of It's not triggering the ones either side. So if it is going into the kitchen, it's going into the kitchen and just like standing there. Otherwise it's in the room. But even if it's in the room, it never seems to be there long enough to trigger the dots, if it's going to trigger the dots. Coffee burp. Alright, let's see what else we've got here. Let's leave that up there so you guys can see the dots and if it walks through it while I'm busy doing other things. So, Raiju, EMF level 5, Ghost Orb, and the dots. So I haven't seen the dots and I haven't got EMF level 5 yet. What is the mare? Spirit Box, Orbs, and Ghost Writing. We still haven't got Ghost Writing as well. There's not a lot to interact with in that room except, wow, it's really going crazy. Except for the books and the doors. I mean, there might be something on the shelves, but I don't think there's anything on the shelves. And what was our other option? Our other option is the yokai, which is there. Spirit Box, Ghost Orb, and dots. So the fact that we're not getting dots... Okay, now it's moved into the kitchen and it's gone somewhere else. The fact that we're really not seeing the dots sort of says Raiju. No, sort of says Mare. So let's see if we can get... What was the Mare again? See if we can get that Spirit Box again. We'll try more Spirit Box. It has blown out the candle, which is good. We can get some salt photos, so let's take a few of those photos too. Got a UV light in there. I did Spirit Box in the garage and I did it in the little room as well, but I can always have missed it because the ghost could have easily moved during that period. Like it's really easy for the ghost to just wander off. Yeah, see, I'm inclined to believe it's in the kitchen with me right now rather than in the room. But in this mode of the game, it can't move rooms, so it's got to walk through the door at some point because it's got it should like its room. At some point, it has to return to the room. All right, that was terrifying. Might not have got that photo. We'll see. Doop-doop-a-doo-boo. Right, now I am in hunting range of a Raiju, I believe, because I'll be 75%, and Raijus, I believe, can hunt at 80 if there's electrical equipment around the place. Yeah, so I'm at 70 now. I did get the ghost to walk through salt. I did get a couple of photos, including, I believe, the ghost photo. Ghost. Footstep and footstep. So not bad, we've got a bit more money now. Still don't know whether it's in the room or not. I'm now going to take a pill. So, we're at 70% sanity. This should take us to 100. And it does. Excellent. Let's put a crucifix in there. Around that vicinities. No, that wasn't a hunt. You can sort of tell when it's a hunt as well, because especially in Tanglewood, you can hear the front door lock. So I didn't hear the front door lock, so I was pretty sure I was good. Right, let's try this again. Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? Are you close? Are you friendly? Are you French? Alright, I'm still not getting that. Am I getting... Still not getting a good EMF. Where did I throw the UV? Where did I throw the UV? Oh, there. Now, we haven't got fingerprints. We still haven't got fingerprints, so I'm pretty sure it's not fingerprints. We're not going to be too surprised to never get fingerprints. What else have we got here that I can really do? Play with the candle. See if it does anything. Really playing with that door. Still not EMF 5. So I'm inclined to believe we're not going to get EMF 5 because we've had way too many goes at it and it hasn't done anything EMF 5-ish. It's just constantly doing lower EMFs. I haven't seen anything that looks like EMF 5 on the activity chart. We still haven't got any dots. I'm going to say EMF 5 is not a thing. We still haven't got Spirit Box. So a yokai is going to be those dots, and the mare is going to be that Spirit Box. That's the big difference. Actually, whereas a mare, again, I can never remember what everything is. Mare, Spirit Box, Ghost Writing. Still hasn't written in the books yet either. And the yokai, I mean, I'm talking, and it's kind of getting active when I'm talking. So it could very well they're both Spirit Box, and I still haven't got the Spirit Box. So that's incredibly weird. Should have got the Ghost Writing by now, at least. It's really weird that I haven't got that. If it was going to be Ghost Writing, that is. They've both got dots, so I should have seen dots by now as well. The fact that they both have dots means I should have seen dots. Either that or I'm making an incorrect assumption somewhere. But it's not freezing. It's not fingerprints. Let's say we just missed EMF level 5, then the only other thing it could be was a Raiju, which is dots. Should have got the Ghost Writing by now. With dots. So if it's not dots, it's got to be that mare, and we've just missed the Spirit Box, and somehow it hasn't written in the book because it hasn't been in the room long enough to write in the book, which is extremely strange. Like an unlikely turn of events. Okay, we've got salt in there. Let's take these in and just have them handy. It's now playing with the car, so it's spending some time in the garage. It's played with the book. So before I talked about how you can place the books so that you can tell whether it's touched the book or not. So I've placed the books in a way that there's no way, like, it has to move the book. That's not writing, is it? Oh, it is writing. Oh, maybe I just couldn't see it. Has it written in both of them? No, just one. Alright, wouldn't mind if you gave me another writing. Okay, so it did write in the book, so we've got another piece of evidence there. So we did get Ghost Writing, it's a mare, which means it can hunt at 60% if the lights are off, but at 40% if the lights are on. So there's something. A mare will only ever turn the lights off. That's another little key thing. We don't need this anymore now. A little key thing about the mare that no other ghost has. Any other ghost can turn the lights on. A mare can only turn the lights off. It's not allowed to turn lights on. Camera. It's not a very good camera. We've got a camera with more photos in it. 2. Oh, great. So yeah, a mare will only ever turn the lights off. It'll never turn the lights on. Now, on intermediate, the ghost still cannot move ghost rooms. On professional is when it starts being able to do that. It's very rare on professional, but it can do it. On intermediate, it can't do it yet. Aha! Stepped in it, and then one step. That's it. You stepped in the salt and then took one step. Disappointing. an interaction for that? You do. So I get an interaction. Oh, and now I've stepped in the salt, and I don't know where the other camera is. Where is it? Is it this one? It is. Now I'm out of photos. But that should be all 10 photos. So that's all she wrote. So, this one was almost entirely a process of elimination. So we've eliminated fingerprints as a kind of evidence, and we eliminated freezing temperatures as a kind of evidence, because we know we've got the ghost room. You have to be... If you see the dots, that's the ghost room. We know the ghost room can't move because this is intermediate. So if you're in the ghost room and there's no freezing temperatures, you know it's not freezing. You can cross that off the list. We never saw dots. We never got spirit box. We never got EMF level 5, but we couldn't cross those off the list because they're somewhat random. EMF, there's a list of EMFs on what different interactions the ghost makes, what EMF that leaves normally, but it's not guaranteed that it'll do that. It'll do that level 2 EMF, and every now and again, if it's an EMF level 5 ghost, it'll do an EMF level 5. But you're not guaranteed to get the EMF level 5 with everything that it touches. So if you don't get EMF level 5, you can never be certain that you haven't got an EMF level 5 ghost. You just can't be 100% ever. The dots projector, again, you can never be 100% certain that you haven't just missed the dots or the ghost didn't spend long enough in the room. The spirit box, you can never be sure that you didn't get the spirit box. So this is a mare, it should have been the spirit box. And we never got that spirit box, but it's got to be the spirit box, unless I'm really wrong. But I don't think I am, because we've got ghost writing, we've got the ghost orbs. So it never spoke to me, and I don't know why it never spoke to me on the spirit box. It just didn't want to. Possibly it just wasn't in the room at the time, but I mean, I know I was close, because the ghost did interactions around me while I was talking to it on the spirit box, and it still never answered. Now, the spirit box only works if you're in the dark. You have to have all the lights off for the spirit box to work. Candles don't count. It has to be the actual electrical lights. So if the mare walked from that utility room into the kitchen where the light was on, and I'm trying to talk to it on the spirit box, even though it's close enough to respond, it's not actually going to respond because it's in the light. It doesn't matter if I'm in the dark, it's where the ghost is. The same thing with the garage. I had the garage lights off for most of it, but I did eventually turn the garage lights on. So if the ghost walks into the garage and I'm over near that door and it's just interacted with that door, and I'm like, all right, speak to me, are you here, are you friendly, are you how old are you, etc., etc. The mare's standing in the light, it's not going to respond. Right, so the last thing we can do, if we want to do it, is we can play hide and seek with this ghost, which I don't need to do. Like, there's no reason to do it except for the hell of it. 90% sanity, we're fine against a mare. So where are my hiding spaces? I've got lots of them, don't I? Yes. Alright, so let's go and get the board. Let's grab that and that. Let's say, where are you? It's currently in the garage. Okay, that's a ghost event. A very creepy one, but still just a ghost event. It's really spent a long time there. Hide and seek. Hide and seek. Now it's going to count down. Oh, it's in the kitchen right now. Hey, where are you? Come on. hunts are longer than normal hunts as well. So that was an incredibly long hunt. So a normal hunt on intermediate is not that long. But alright, we did everything. We played with the Ouija board just for the fun of it as well. Let's see, what does hide and seek do to your sanity? Pretty much destroys it. So yeah, that was just about every last bit we had. Let's have a better look at how much sanity we get back, shall we? So we're at about probably close to 5%. Let's see. Yeah, so it's about 35% that it gives you back on intermediate. So now at 40% with all the lights off, because I believe she threw the breaker again, I would be in hunting range. That ghost could hunt. Alright. Still didn't get the spirit box. Didn't get it to talk. Let's go to 100% and let's go get it, see if we can get it to say something. Just give me a spirit box. Now she's over there, all the lights are off. Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? How old are you? What do you want? Are you friendly? Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? She's still not talking. Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? Where are you? How old are you? Are you friendly? Where are you? How old are you? Alright, that's worrying that I might have the wrong ghost here. Because now, like, I'm definitely within range of the ghost and it still has not talked in the spirit box. The only explanation for that is that my mic is broken, but it can't be because the Ouija board responded in both cases. So I am a little concerned now that we didn't get spirit box. So let's see what else it could have been. Mirror Revenant. It wasn't a Revenant because it wasn't fast. Or was it very, very slow? It might have been very, very slow when it didn't have eyes on me. It's not freezing. I know it's not freezing. Let's go double check freezing. Still at super high sanity, so we're fine. There's already a thermometer in there, but I'll just grab a fresh one. It could still be a mimic. I believe it's just barely plausible that it's still a mimic. Is that freezing? That's freezing! It was never freezing. And now it's freezing? Wow. So that was extremely lucky. So now we know it is freezing. So the only thing it can be is a Revenant, unless ghost orbs are wrong. But it can't be a mimic without ghost orbs. So, you know, it's got to be that Revenant. It can't be anything else. It just goes to show. You know, we never got that spirit box. I was convinced we never got that spirit box. I never saw freezing. That entire time, I never saw freezing. But this is a very small room, and the ghost goes through it very fast, and the ghost has to actually spend time in a room to make the room freezing. And it apparently didn't, at the beginning, spend enough time, it never spent enough time in the utility room to make it freezing. Yeah, it didn't look fast enough for a rev, but the thing that kind of gave it away was when I was thinking about it and I thought, okay, when I smudged it and then hid in the cupboard, I heard the footsteps. Now, the footstep sounds speed up and slow down. Before, the footstep sounds actually used to be even, regardless of the speed of the ghost. Now, the footstep sounds actually speed up and slow down if it's a fast or a slow ghost, so you can tell without having to see it. And Revenants, if they don't have a target, if they don't see anyone, are the slowest ghost in the game. Nothing walks around slower than a Revenant. Maybe a Hantu in a hot room, but I don't think so. I think even a Hantu in a hot room is faster than a Revenant when it doesn't have a target. A Revenant, when it doesn't have a target, only moves at 50% of the player. So the footsteps are thump, thump, thump. A normal ghost is thump, 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 thump. only a revenant is so slow if it doesn't see you. So I did get suspicious when I heard the thumps, but I thought maybe something weird has gone wrong. So let's go check the spirit box again. And yeah, so I would have totally got that one wrong. Under normal circumstances, if I wasn't streaming and basically doing this for entertainment purposes, I would have locked in Mare and left. But this time we locked in Revenant and we got all but one photo, so it shouldn't be too bad. Got the ghost photo, got a Ouija board. So that should be a reasonable score as well. So let's have a look at how much the score increases. Or the money increases. So there we go. So on amateur, in Tanglewood being a small map, it's basically not possible to get over 100 even with a perfect game. Or it might be just possible to get 100, and that's as much as you can get. Or is it 95? I think it's 100. Maximum you can get. Here we are in intermediate, 170. So I did something last time that I'm going to do again real quick. And that is, we'll go that, we'll just add all because it's quicker. I'm going to go in, I'm going to find the cursed item and the bone, and I'm going to take those photos, and then I'm going to leave.
Alright, we're here. Let's look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation.
So let's have a look at how much money you get if you've just got those two things. Okay, the breaker's in the garage, so I'm going to turn that on just to... And the game hangs a little bit, because it does that sometimes.
Like whoever was here left in a hurry.
Steve Martin. Wow. Does that repel the ghost? No, cleanse the area. So I don't know when you start getting hunt objectives that involve actually being hunted. I'm going to go straight for the breaker because I don't actually have the lights on. Just in case we are dealing with a demon or something silly. Is that tarot cards? That might have been tarot cards. This door started open. The ghost is possibly in here again. Alright, I don't see the Ouija board. It's throwing plates, so it's in here somewhere. Something got thrown, I don't know what it was exactly, but something got thrown very close by. So it's here somewhere. Ah, there we are. So that plate, so it's in the dining room at the moment, but it's, yeah, it's around this area of the house at the moment. Right, nothing there. No mirror, no Ouija board. Don't want to run out of lights too quick. Still haven't seen the bone yet either. Is that tarot cards? No. Don't see a bone. That door's also open, which is weird. Might have wondered a lot. Or maybe I'm wrong, and maybe doors do open and close, do start at random amounts of open on intermediate. Who knows? I really thought that on intermediate they all started closed, but I could be wrong. Either that or this ghost is a very wondery ghost. Alright, we still haven't got a cursed item or a bone. Yeah, this door started open. Okay, so they must start at random spots. Because otherwise this ghost has been everywhere in a very short amount of time. Alright, what is that cursed item? Because I haven't found anything. Got the bone. Pick up the bone as well. I don't know where the voodoo doll spawns in this. I thought it was the nursery. So I haven't seen, unless the mirror is in the... Is the mirror in the garage? I thought the mirror was in the basement. Got those hiding spots. Ah, there it is. Voodoo doll. Done. Right. So we've taken 2 photos, 1 voodoo doll, 1 bone, and we've picked up the bone. Don't know what ghost it is. I'm not even going to guess. I believe it locks in spirit automatically. So if you don't pick something, you pick spirit. So So if it's a spirit that's going to throw everything off, no, it's a
Welcome
Milo.
back.
$60.
Some jobs ready for you.
Got $20 off photos and $10 for the bone evidence, and I've already got $60, and I spent 2 minutes, 3 minutes investigating, and it took me a long time to find that cursed object. Yeah, that's you can make enough money to buy yourself another strong flashlight if you've gone broke or something. You can buy the few bits and pieces that maybe make your life easier just by moving in at this difficulty level, taking a few photos. I was probably still within the setup timer, or no, I was just outside the setup timer by a couple of minutes. But yeah, like the setup timer gives you enough time. Sometimes you can go in, find the cursed object, find the bone, get out, the setup timer's still running, and you can leave and be like happy. And then you can have a guess of the ghost, and if you guess the ghost right, you get even more money. Alright, so let's do Ridgeview now. The big of these houses. What size map is Ridgeview? Is it still a small map? I don't know whether it still counts as a small map. I think it does. Oh, it's very windy.
Right. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating. And remember to check the whiteboard.
Richard
for
Wilson,
help.
cleanse the area near the ghost using smudge sticks, capture a photo, and get the
Looks like
ghost
this
to
is
blow
going
out
to
the
be a
candle.
tough one. We've had reports of violence, and it looks like they left.
Right, so EMF and camera. The breaker is in the basement on the right hand side. Yeah, this is a surprisingly big map. You wouldn't think it was that big, and then you actually spend some time in here. It's like, wow, there are so many rooms. I've already forgotten the ghost name. And I heard something then. In the kitchen. So there you go, we've got a kitchen ghost already. We know that much. It's playing with a microwave now as well. Don't see any bone around here, do I? No cursed item, perhaps. No mirror or Ouija board hiding around here, no. Alright, so that light and this light are going to be our favourites for this area of the house. This one's always good as well. You might want to turn the dining room one on, but I don't always do that, depends. Let's go looking for the bone. Oh, and this one. So, no cursed item yet, no bone. Yeah, so the doors do start random. I was not aware of that, so I was very wrong about that, but now we know. So on intermediate, you start having to be a bit more careful because the doors can be all over the place. Does that count as the mirror? I don't think it does. I was going to say it looks just like the mirror, but I don't think it's the mirror. It's not the mirror. It's a mirror, which is not the same thing at all. There's our bone. And there's our cursed item. And the ghost was in here originally. I don't know where it is now, but it was in here. The only one that gets impacted by the weather is your thermometer. The thermometer is impacted by the temperature, but only because the temperature drops faster if the breaker is off, and the temperature outside can be freezing, which is a problem in the outdoor map Maple Campsite. But in most other maps, once you're inside, the temperatures are as they were before. You know, they're cold, but if they're freezing, they're only freezing, you know, they're only freezing in the ghost room. Alright, we've got too many lights on now. The ghost was in the kitchen. Let's try that. It could be right here in the entryway. Let's try this as well. Is that an orb? entry hall ghost, not a kitchen ghost. What else did I have then? Is that the only piece of equipment I picked up? That was weird. Why didn't I pick up anything else? Alright, let's put the hardest ones, the ones that take the longest, inside. We've already seen the orbs, so now we don't really need the lights off anymore because we've seen the orbs. So, lights off. Throw in the breaker, you naughty, naughty ghost. You know I've got to run really far to turn that back on again. Ooh, don't have those hiding spots, so those lockers are locked. Cannot hide there. But there's probably hiding spaces upstairs, so that's fine. Let's line that up with the dots. Cursed item? No, I found the cursed item as well, so... Yeah, so I don't know what hiding spots I have upstairs, but let's try not to get hunted in this one. We'll just avoid it entirely. Alright, so there's those dots. It's currently doing all sorts of weird stuff to the lights. I do not know what's going on there. That is not normal. What the hell? I think I blew the breaker again. So in regards to the breaker, I said before the mayor will never turn lights off. The djinn will never turn the breaker off because the djinn relies on the breaker for its special ability. Okay, there we go. Now we've got the lights settled, whatever the hell was going on there. So let's see if we get any dots. I mean, we don't even know if the ghost is in there at the moment, but it's got to go there periodically, surely. The problem with this room is that it's got the entry hall, the kitchen, and the dining room to mess around in. And that's assuming it doesn't walk over into the lounge as well. But yeah, so we know this isn't a djinn. Breaker's off, so I'm not really going to get... I thought I saw it out of the corner of my eye then, but I won't. Let's try a spirit box. Let's try UV. Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? Where are you? You hate. You want hate. How do you want hate? Don't you just hate things as opposed to want hate? Alright, so we do have that. We got our spirit box now. We've got ghost orbs and spirit box, which I believe means it cannot be a mimic anymore. Some extreme light effects there. Are we freezing here? I think we're freezing. Is that my breath? It's broken those lights. That's the problem here, is that it's broken the lights. Now we didn't get fingerprints that I'm aware of. It should have been on those lights when it first turned the lights off. So we have spirit box and maybe orbs. Now the mimic's a possibility, so we can't rule out that it's a mimic yet. We do not have enough evidence, so we're going to have to wait a little bit and see what else we get. Yes and no. Having more dots makes it easier to see dots. Having more cameras doesn't make it easier. Having more dots makes it easier to see dots. So let's demonstrate that by putting a couple more dots in. Well, the other dots. So I'll put that there, and I'll put that there, just a little bit further away. Yeah, the fact that that light's broken is very annoying, because that light is really good light as well. Like, it's in a spot where you can... As soon as you come into the map, you're not losing sanity because you're in the light. Alright, now we were going to see dots, we'd see dots right here. Unless it's a Goryo. But that's been removed because we've got Spirit Box. Yeah, so I'm not getting anything dots like yet. But again, the ghost can move around a lot because these other rooms, they don't have doors, there's no real bottlenecks, the ghost can just sort of walk through. Let's try chucking a couple in and seeing if we can see it move. See if it, you know, is staying close or if it's actually wandering. So let's put one there. Damn you. We'll put one there and see what we get. EMF 4, that's a standard EMF that you get off ghost events. And then we got an EMF 2, so I still haven't seen an EMF 5 yet. The big cleaver guy, my very first game was the big cleaver guy in this map, but it was a Revenant. Sanity's at 80% now, so a Raiju could hunt. Yeah, so it is walking around in the actual right area. Don't actually need that anymore. So we may or may not get dots here, we'll see. Would really like it if it could turn off a light switch that was actually fingerprintable, that would be good. What I'm going to do is I might take this in and don't really think there's anything else I need to mess about with at the moment. Let's just take the other camera for now. So the UV light, massive, the UV stick, glow stick, massive amount of UV light for the first sort of 2 minutes, and then not much UV light after that. But on this table, it should always show me that light switch, and it has turned that light switch off recently, so it's probably not going to be fingerprints because there are no fingerprints there. We would have probably seen them by now if it was going to be fingerprints. Alright, I'm too late to actually check that. Hasn't appeared to have touched anything else recently. Oh, that's the outside light now. I want that one on now. Now, has it turned a light on before? Hasn't turned any lights on. Hasn't turned any lights on. I don't appear to have freezing either, I don't think. Let's check. Double check that with the thermometer. I thought maybe I had it before, but it might have been something else. Don't really need anything else at the moment. Oh, what are my objectives? Get the ghost to blow out a candle. Well, let's... I think there's candles in this map, so let's see if we can just light some of the native candles. It's also written on that, and yes, I was right. Ah, it is freezing. Now I've definitely got breath. 9.3, -9. So we definitely have freezing temperatures. On Rio's a possibility. Well, that's dangerous if I've got a candle there. Alright, the lighter is here on the deck, so let's remember that. The temperature probe I don't need anymore, so we'll just leave that out there, because we know it's freezing. Cool. It's already blown out a candle, so if it was an Onryo, I don't think it's in range yet to hunt, and Onryo can hunt early if a candle goes out near it. If there's only one candle. If there's multiple candles, then it can't hunt for a while yet. Alright, so... Obake is not an option. And the Mimic would have been fingerprints. So I don't reckon we've got a Mimic. because that light switch near the front door has never given up the fingerprints, even though the ghost has turned it on and off several times. So what are we looking at? On Rio, be spirit box, which we've got, ghost orbs, which we think we have. So there's a really good chance this is an on Rio. What would the twins be? Twins would be EMF level 5. I haven't seen that yet, but we do have spirit box and freezing. And the mimic would have been those fingerprints, which I don't think we've got. So dots means nothing, because there's no chance for dots with any of these ghosts. Ghost writing means nothing, so there's no chance for any of that. So basically, we're looking for those fingerprints, EMF 5, and if those orbs are the orbs, there it is, then this is an Onryo, which means it's actually a candle ghost. So the way an Onryo works, and again, like, you've got no way of figuring this out in intermediate. An Onryo treats lit candles as crucifixes. If there are multiple candles in the room, well, even if there's only one candle in the room, it treats it as a crucifix. However, if it blows out a candle, and that's the only candle in the room, then as far as the Onryo is concerned, there's no more crucifixes, and that candle being extinguished can trigger an early hunt. So an Onryo, if you can keep a lot of candles in the ghost room, or where the ghost spends most of its time, and keep them all lit, you basically have infinite crucifixes. The Onryo cannot and will not hunt. But if, for example, you go outside of the truck and you're doing a few things and you go back in and it blew out all but one of the candles and you step inside and then it blows out that last candle, bam, Onryo's going to hunt. I believe it hunts at 75% sanity, so we're still safe at the moment. But yeah, it treats candles differently to the way other ghosts treat candles. Capture a photo of the ghost. Well, that's going to be hard without hide and seek. We might try that. That'll be risky, but we'll lose money for science. Why not? I'm going to put the regular crucifixes in there as well, because yeah, that light is on now. Still don't have any fingerprints. Now there's still a few weird things, like this ghost has never turned a light on, it's always turned lights off. Which is a very mare-like behaviour, but, you know, it's not a guarantee that it's a mare just because it never turns a light on. I'm inclined to believe this is the Onryo. Nothing on the board. It's definitely in that room. Not doing much. We would have got fingerprints because it's not an Obake, and Obake is not an option. And an Obake is the only ghost that can hide its fingerprints, so it would have left fingerprints on that light switch. That's not EMF level 5. And what are our other options? What were our other options before putting ghost orbs? The twins, the mimic, and an Onryo. Yeah. I don't see it being twins or the mimic. It's an Obake. I mean Onryo. Yeah, when threatened, this ghost will be less likely to hunt. So what threatens it is the candles, because it doesn't like flames. So that's its whole deal. The bone of the Ouija board. I've got no photos yet. Alright. Let's go and get ourselves. I'm going to take a pill. And we'll grab ourselves this and this. And we'll go and get a whole bunch of photos. Yeah, so look, it's turned the light off again. And it wasn't that long ago, so there should be fingerprints, and there just aren't. So, yeah, not that ghost. Walks backwards and forwards between here a lot, so let's put it there. Where's my camera? Oh, there's my camera. Good, 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 good. Maybe that's not a good place to place the salt. Yeah, so it walked right in front of it, but didn't step in the salt, so that's a bit of a shame. So let's try there. You have to, you're not allowed to just stand there. Oh, where did it, there. Just the two, because it basically stood still. Alright, now the other thing that's distracting me is these are being incredibly annoying at the moment, so let's get rid of those, because I can't see a damn thing. Don't need the books. Richard Wilson, where are you? Can you give us a sign? Richard? Oh no, the lights are on, and I don't really want to turn the lights off. Screw it. Too much effort. Hasn't triggered the motion sensor in a bit either. Playing with the lights over there. You've gone over into the dining room, have you? There's two lovely piles of salt over there, Richard. Go and step in them. Alright, that wasn't me, so that was definitely him. So he's come back. Well, he's moved this way anyway. I do have another thing of salt. I could put more salt there, since he seems to like step in there. Oh, there we go. If you step in the salt, you have to go somewhere. Oops. Where's my other camera? There it is. Alright. I think I've got one or two photos left, maybe. Let's see how we're doing here, photo-wise. Footstep, 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 footstep. If I get one more, that's a perfect game. Ah, no, because I didn't get the ghost photo. It would be nice to get the ghost photo. I still have to smudge the ghost, so let's do that and see if we get a ghost photo. There's a lighter over there, I think. So, that camera, let's move this out of the way so we're not struggling to pick it up. Kind of want to wait and see if it passes in front of one of the thingies before I smudge, so I know it's here. Oh, well, at least I smudged him. Very naughty ghost. Thank you, Richard. You're a legend. So there's the ghost photo. We've got all the objectives. Pretty close to a perfect game. So every now and again, a ghost is well behaved. This one was reasonably well behaved for an Unrio. Sanity stayed nice and high, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Unrio. Got all the evidence, got all the photos that we could possibly ask for. It should have been a perfect game, I think. So 180 is a perfect game in intermediate on a small map. So yeah, all the objectives, 40 for photos because we got the ghost photo. If we didn't get that ghost photo, it would have been 35 because we wouldn't have got enough with just another footprint photo. We needed that ghost photo. And that happened to be an objective, so it's a good thing we stuck around and tried to get it. Alright. Let's do Edgefield. Now Edgefield, also 16 rooms. But Edgefield feels a lot smaller, although actually the upstairs is super complex. So there is actually a lot of space in Edgefield. It is a big place. It doesn't feel as big, but it is as big, apparently. The more you know. Alright, let's see what we get this time. Yesterday we had all spirit boxes and one Ouija board. Today we've had all Ouija boards so far. Christopher Robinson.
I've also written some notes on the whiteboard if you need them.
Yeah.
Seems to be linked to a cursed object.
Ah.
Go and take a closer look. Maybe using it will help your investigation.
Prevent the ghost from hunting with a crucifix. Now that's a more difficult objective. Not very common, but yeah, you know, occasionally it turns up. Alright, the breaker is in the basement, which is always a pain in the butt, but you know, you get that, so we'll have to go down there and look. So we'll take that, and we'll take the camera. I said the camera. Now, I haven't played with the paramic, so we might, before we leave this one, so we'll get everything done, and then we'll play with the paramic before we leave. I totally heard a door already. Howdy! Alright, I don't know why one of them is EMF level 2, that's weird. EMF level 3, I'm not sure about that. I didn't think that was a thing that happened, but apparently it did right there, so yeah. Let's get on and get this breaker on. Ghost is right at the frickin' back of the house, which is very annoying. Do we have a hiding spot? We do. Doesn't appear to be a cursed item down here. I don't know where the... I don't know the cursed item spots in this house. So, you know, we'll be scanning around a bit, trying to find those. There's the bone, so we'll take that. Oh, yep. Very active ghost. I'm not coming back here, so I don't need that on. I didn't initially see anything in here, but I didn't give it a good look either. No voodoo doll or anything that I can see. What about anything in the kitchen, perhaps? Ouija board back here, maybe? Aha! 3 Ouija boards in a row. Is that the outside light? It is, so I don't need that, because that's not going to do anything for me. Alright, turn that one on, and that one, because that one's good. And then we'll turn this one on, and the ghost is back here somewhere. Space in the ghost room. Now the ghost is here somewhere, but it could be a corridor ghost. I got a feeling maybe we do have a corridor ghost. I think we've got a corridor ghost. That's not a hiding spot, that is. Alright, so let's turn off that one. And that one, because it's in the corridor, not in the thing. Still only EMF level 2s. And that 1-3. All the cursed items can appear in any map. You only ever get one cursed item per map. So So you can't ever get 2 cursed items at once. With the exception of the training map, which doesn't give you a cursed item. They don't let you play with the cursed items outside of actual games. You can't go into the training map and experiment in perfect safety. Because in the training map, you can't be killed. The ghost can't hunt. So the availability of the cursed hunt would sort of destroy that. I'm going to try and put it here. This is one where multiple cameras might actually be an advantage. I've left that other light right at the back there on, but I don't think that's going to completely destroy our ability to see. Right, no orbs in that part of the corridor. And again, I don't know it's a corridor ghost. It might have just been wandering the corridor. But considering that it's interacted with so many different rooms and doors along the corridor, I'm inclined to believe it's a corridor ghost. But let's double check that. No, so it's actually quite warm up here on the landing. So it's a good thing we double checked, because it might not be a corridor ghost after all. It's not cold in that room. I don't know what door it just touched. Oh, it's definitely this door. Could just be following me around because it's one of those ghosts. Alright, now I don't know. Because none of the rooms... Ooh, that's freezing. So, now we know what room it is. Once again showing the power of the thermometer. No fingerprints that I can see immediately, but, you know, doesn't actually mean anything just yet. Just want to close those so that if it does open them again, I'll be able to actually see if there's yeah, definitely turned that light off. That didn't give me any fingerprints. If it touches them again, I'll know to look. Yeah, that's a whole bunch of stuff, but none of those, that doesn't look like either the twins or like EMF level 5, so I'm going to say no. Don't see any orbs there now. Oh, there it is. Yep, so we do have an orb. And we do have dots. Ran right at the camera then. That was pretty cool. Okay, so we're absolutely certain we've got dots. Which means it can't be the mimic. Which means we're absolutely certain we've got orbs. So you get that? The mimic is the only ghost that can mimic the orbs and not actually have orbs. But because dots removes the mimic, then the orbs must be real. Because it can't be mimicking the orbs if it's not the mimic. So Banshee, Yurei, Yokai, and Raiju. So Yokai feels about right because we've been getting a lot of stuff while I've been talking. The ghost has been more active. So yeah, that could be something. So let's have a go on a spirit box and a book. Oh, I've got the UV torch. Alright, we'll hang on to the UV at the moment because we still haven't ruled out fingerprints. We just don't think there's fingerprints. And it's blown the breaker. You bastard. Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? Where are you? How old are you? What do you want? No fingerprints. Let's definitely touch these doors yet again, and we don't have fingerprints. Close the damn doors. Alright, now I need to go and get... I didn't get anything on the spirit box just yet, but I need to go and get the breaker. So yeah, any what I should have said before about the cursed items is any map can have any cursed item. No particular map is more likely to have one cursed item over any other cursed item. so it is wandering. I mean, we heard it touch a door then. Okay, EMF2 still. EMF2 off the radio as well. I think I can take a photo of that. Might have been too late, maybe not. Nope, interaction, excellent. H. Alright, so still no fingerprints. I'm inclined to believe it's not going to be fingerprints. So let's cross that off. Yokai would be Spirit Box, which we haven't got yet. Yurai. Freezing. Was it freezing? It was freezing. Wasn't it already freezing? We got freezing. So Yurai. Aha! Alright. Which brings us to the point where we can make sure our sanity is nice and high, and let's see if I can get the ghost to give me any good... Right, there we go. Just touched a door, I got a 4.8 off that door. And I'm getting a 2.8 because that's where it was. 2.5 off another door. Probably one of those. 1.8 because it's in this room. Every now and again the ghost will speak as well, but the myling does the most speaking. The banshee doesn't do a lot of speaking, but it has a special talk that no other ghost can do. Alright, prevent the ghost from hunting with the crucifix. I don't really want to do... I don't want to do hide and seek. But I can still use the Ouija board to destroy my sanity and hide somewhere else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 crucifixes in this room, because I think it's going to... Ah! Jesus! Well, I'll get an interaction photo for that. No! You suck. That was pretty creepy though, right? Alright, so my sanity should be lower now. Yeah, okay. Prevent the ghost from hunting with the crucifix. I'm going to take the smudge stick and a lighter. Where are my hiding spots? Do I have a hiding spot downstairs where the thingy is? Was it down here? Where did I have the Ouija board? Where was the Ouija board? Oh yes, back here. Cool, alright. So what I'm going to do... So I want to prevent it from hunting with the crucifix. So I just want to destroy my sanity and I don't want cursed hunts. So I'm going to grab it. I'm going to ask the Ouija board a bunch of questions to destroy my sanity, and then I'm just going to hide in that locker. Cool? Cool. Going to have the smudge stick just in case I need it. Ooh, that's not a great throw. Where are you? Hallway. How old are you? 46. How did you die? Okay, so what happened there is the ghost hunted. Well, I destroyed the Ouija board because I didn't have enough sanity left to ask the question I asked. If I'd had enough sanity left to ask the question I asked, the ghost wouldn't have necessarily hunted. I mean, it might have still hunted, but yeah, it wasn't ready. But now I should be at 0% sanity. So if I just hang around in here and see if that eventually gets ticked off, I mean, it might eventually get ticked off, I don't know. There you go. So I just prevented a hunt with a crucifix, so now I'm going to wait for the next hunt. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I'm not going to try and get out until it's hunted. And then I'm going to get out. There we go. So yeah, so got myself to 0% sanity. That is technically 0%. I'm not at, I mean, it's just barely plausible that I'm at 1% or 2%, but it's not likely. So we got all the things. I've got no photos, but now what I do have is all the sanity in the world. So yeah, so it's 35, because that took me to 70%. Let's go to 100% and take that and that. Why can't I take that? Because I've got a lighter. Let's take that and that. I think the breaker might be off again. Not sure. Nope. And we'll ruin its day. Well, not ruin its day, but we'll... where the hell is my UV torch? I can see it glowing. I don't actually see it. Oh, there. Oh, come on, don't do that again. If you step in the salt, you have to walk around. Footstep on the bed. 2 footsteps on the bed. Okay, one was next to the bed, technically. Where's the light in this room? There it is. Alright. So yeah, so it used up that crucifix, not this one. Which means it tried to hunt from like right here. Once again, if you step on the salt, you have to leave footprints. Don't be silly. 1. Oh man, come on. Might have to get the other salt at this rate. Nah, I think we'll get whatever we get off this last salt. So hopefully he'll step in this last salt any second now. We'll get whatever we get and then we'll call it. Please tell me I got that. No, yes! Got the ghost photo. Excellent. So yeah, the special red light interaction, that's not very common. You don't get that one very much. Salt. Do it. Do it now. Or, you know, touch a door or something. I'll take whatever I can get at this point. Turn the radio on. Buzz the phone. Throw this cup. Do some things. computer doesn't turn on. Most of the computers turn on. It's just not stepping in that salt, is he? Bah, good enough. We got a few things. Yeah, that'll do. All right. So you'll notice that each map took me longer as well. It wasn't as quick to do on intermediate. The ghost is more active, which should make it quicker, but it's not. The ghost is also sneakier. It tries to make things more difficult for you. Also, we spent a lot more time. The objectives are harder, so things like the crucifix, that's quite a hard objective to do. You have to know where the ghost room is. You have to know where the ghost spawns mostly. It doesn't always spawn in the room. Yeah, so there's a lot of difficulty involved in intermediate that isn't immediately apparent. So let's see. Play on a medium map and buy an item in the store. Yeah, I'm not going to bother playing on a medium map. Don't worry about the dailies for today. I don't think it really matters. Ghost photo, I don't have a... That's the ghost photo. Can't see the ghost. That was a ghost photo. It used to be better. You used to be able to get nice clear shots of the ghost. You don't get that anymore. It's kind of screwing with my ability to make thumbnails for these YouTube videos. So what else do I want to say about intermediate? By the time you reach intermediate, you should have access to all the equipment. I don't think there's any piece of equipment that is still locked once you have access to intermediate. You won't be very good at using all the equipment. The paramic especially is quite difficult to use if you don't know how it works. The thermometer, if you don't know how it works, like a lot of people, I've watched so many streams of people who aren't very good at Phasmophobia. I'm not saying they're not very good at Phasmophobia. They aren't as knowledgeable about Phasmophobia, and they use the thermometer wrong. They just scan around like this, and that's not how the thermometer works. They aren't aware that the thermometer will scan through a closed door. If the door is closed, the thermometer will still read the room beyond that door. It will read through walls, I believe. So long as it's the room you're reading is within the range of the thermometer, it'll read straight through that wall into the next room if there was a room there. I wonder if... Oh, the thingy that watches you is still up there. The watch is still up there. So is the spooky jump scare still here? Yes. I thought they were Christmas only, but no, apparently you have spooky spookingtons that just hang around in your garage and watch you and stuff. There's a bunch of stuff here that we reckon is part of the progress update. That will be some of the next things that are coming. So we will probably see those eventually. Yeah, intermediate. The rewards are worth it because the increase in money that you get means you can start getting to the point where you've got spare money. You've got money left over after having all the items that you need, which means if you die, you can buy more items. You still get some insurance, so if you do die, you lose everything, but you get a quarter of the money for all those things back. I would also say that by the time you're on intermediate, you should be able to play amateur on basic equipment. You should be able to now go into an amateur map with no equipment, get the right ghost, get 5 photos, because that's as many as you can get because they only give you 1 photo camera. But go in with no equipment added, get 5 photos of things that are worth taking photos of, get the right ghost and get out and make, $50-60. And so if you do run out of money, you should be able to do that, go to the item store enough times and buy a few things. Speaking of, I need to buy something. Let's buy a crappy flashlight since I've got so few of those. Done. Finished another daily objective. Excellent. $10, even though that cost me 30. Oh well. Let's see, what else is there about intermediate that's worth mentioning? The breaker starting off, that is a big change. That makes a massive difference. You have to go in and get that breaker. On medium and large maps, that is a lot to deal with. The breaker can be really far on the asylum, like really, really far, like a 3-4 minute walk. That's your entire setup time gone just to reach the breaker. And for all you know, the breaker's in the opposite direction of the ghost room, so you might not even hear anything or get any evidence. And it's almost impossible to find the bone in a map like the asylum as well. So you're not even going to get any free money off it. Finding the cursed item, not so bad. I don't know where all the cursed item spots are, but the developers have stated that in medium and large maps, the cursed items are always kind of close to the entry point. They haven't put them so far away that they take too long to get. So, also there's only one spawn point for every cursed item. So, each cursed item, if you know where it spawned once, you can check that spot every time you go to that map, because that is where it will spawn. And if it's not there, then you haven't got that cursed item. I'm starting to learn all the ones in Tanglewood, but I still don't know all of them. Like, I know the summoning circle's always in the basement, and I think the mirror is always in the basement on the wall. The tarot cards are on the coffee table in the lounge near the window. The music box, I think, is in the master bedroom. The Ouija board is in the utility room. Yes, utility room. What have I missed? The voodoo doll is on the bin in the garage, so on and so forth. So again, there's things like that. Like if you play enough amateur, you play the small maps over and over and over again, you'll learn where all the cursed item points are. So when you move to intermediate, you can, for example, like I showed you, walk in, find the bone, find the cursed item, take those 2 photos, pick up the bone and leave. And if the ghost happens to do something like flick a light switch, you can take a photo of that and get the interaction photo and get even more money. You don't even have to know what ghost it is. You could just farm a bit of cash to buy some items if you run out of money and leave. But yeah, it is still more difficult than the game lets on. After very few games of Phasmophobia, you will have accrued enough experience to unlock intermediate and unlock medium maps. And I do not think that at the rate that it unlocks, someone at that level of actual experience, like if you were just starting playing Phasmophobia and you knew nothing, you'd just done the training, I do not think that the level that it unlocks at is when you should be doing intermediate. And that is problematic because there's a tendency in gamers to like, oh, I've unlocked the next difficulty level. I really shouldn't be playing on this level anymore. It doesn't feel like I should be playing on this level. It feels like I should be playing on the level of difficulty that I unlocked. Otherwise, why have I unlocked it? That being said, there's nothing wrong with jumping into intermediate going, that was too hard, I'm dying like crazy, I'm not really getting anywhere, I'm not learning anything because I'm dying too often, and then jumping back into amateur. The game doesn't penalize you for doing that in any way except that you only get the amateur rewards. You only get that smaller amount of money. It does reward you in that you do get more time to learn. Similarly, you can play the training mission over and over and over and over and over again. And any items that you own show up in the training mission. So the first time you play the training mission at level 1, only the basic items will be there because you don't own anything. But if you buy a strong flashlight and go into the training mission, that strong flashlight will be there. If you buy a tripod, that tripod will be there. I'm not entirely sure if it's actually your inventory or just once you've completed the training the first time, they just give you everything. It's quite possible that once you complete a training the first time, they just give you everything. If anybody knows, definitely leave a comment on the video. That'd be really good information to know and to be able to pass on to other people. Other than that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this sort of delve into intermediate, the discussion around how it works. Next time we play, we will be playing professional again. It's been a while since I played professional, and we will be discussing the level of difficulty that professional is and how things have changed. Now, there are significant changes once you reach professional. It is the preferred difficulty level for most people when they're playing casually. If you really want to do a challenge, most people step it up to Nightmare Mode. Nightmare Mode is literally a challenge. It's meant to be so hard that you have to stretch yourself. It's not supposed to be just the last difficulty, the difficulty that you get to if you're really good. Even if you're really good, Nightmare Mode is really hard. So it's a lot of people will, as even the highest level players, don't play on Nightmare Mode much unless, for example, they're streaming and they want to do a challenge to entertain their viewers. Most people don't do it just for fun. They might do it just for fun every once in a while, like they'll do one nightmare mode. And you'll also find that most people that play nightmare mode, they tend to play it on the smaller maps, because nightmare mode on the large maps is just, it takes so long and it's so hard, and you need to be so good, and you run out of things like sanity pills and smoke sticks. Yeah, it's too much in most cases to continuously play. But anyway, we'll discuss that more when we get to the nightmare mode. Hopefully I can do all of that before the next update to the game, because if the next update to the game comes out, then this will be entirely useless, and I'll have to start again and go, oh, this is what it's like to start at level 1 and be a noob. And oh, this is what it's like to move up to intermediate. And I don't even know if they're going to have intermediate, because everything's going to change. There's going to be an entirely different progression system and entirely different item progression system. The actual items are going to power up. So yeah, we'll see what happens in that one. Other than that, guys, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, definitely hit that notification button. That's for all you YouTube viewers, because it is super random when I go live. If you're over on Twitch, definitely hit that follow button, because that's the one that helps me out the most over there. And change your notification settings so you can catch the live streams. If you're over on YouTube, once again, I apologize that there is no chat window on YouTube, but I did find that since it's hard to get a plugin that brings up YouTube chat on the Twitch stream or on the stream, whereas it's quite easy to find a plugin that brings up Twitch chat on the stream, it's just easier for me to just have Twitch chat. So if you want to chat, jump on over to my Twitch. You can find it from the banner of my homepage on YouTube. There's a little link in the bottom right of the banner at the top of my YouTube channel. That'll take you over to the Twitch page. Other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.